Jeff Horton, Jeff Horton Band. Wanted to come out and do a review on the Marshall Studio Vintage. This is the 20 watt switchable down to 5 watt. It's the miniature version of the 1959 Super Lead. If you want to call it miniature, that's a 30 watt amp, which I also have. This one is 20, switchable to 5. This amp features an effects loop. It also features a DI, which is really cool. The effects loop, just so you know, because you heard some reverb on that, I have a Holy Grail plugged in up there for some reverb, because I'm just one of those guys, I like a little bit of verb. The amp was set the classic Marshall way. Everything wide open. I've got the 2 channels jumped. So all of that is available on this amp. I kind of went through the neck, the middle, and the bridge pickup of a Strat, just to give you a little bit of what it sounds like, you know, with single coils, and I'll do the same thing with humbuckers in a minute. But to talk about the amp, this is a workhorse. This was one of the first 12 that were shipped to the US when they came out. And I know the amp's been out there for a little bit, but I get more questions about this amp, and I get more people that, you know, I've played Fender amps for years and years, and I've had other Marshalls. But I get more compliments on the tone of this amp. And personally, for me, the responsiveness of this amplifier is beyond belief. Just so that you know, I'm running it into a Mesa. This is a mini recto cab. It's a solid back single 12, and I've got, as I do with all of my amps, it's got a Celestion neodymium magnet cream back in it. That's my favorite speaker. I've got it in every amp except for one. I've got an old tungsten that's like an old tweed Fender with an Alnico in it, but other than that, everything I have gets that speaker. It's been retubed. It's got Millard power tubes, EL34s, and it's got JJ's preamp tubes, and I've changed the AX7 in the volume position to a 12AU7, so I can get it, especially on the 5 watt setting, I can push it a little bit harder and not get it to break up as much. That's the way I prefer to have it set. You can do whatever, you know, suits you and your ear the best. But overall, this thing is rock solid. It has been in and out of clubs, in and out of trailers and trucks. It's always fired up. It's definitely a gig-worthy amp. It's got incredible sound. It's a little bit cheaper than buying the reissued 1959 Flexi. But it has everything that amp has in a lower wattage format, switchable from 20 to 5 watts. And I dig that your standby switch is also how you pick your power, up to 5 watts, down to the full 20. So that's a cool feature. They didn't have to add anything extra there. And just so you get a little sample with humbuckers. Again, everything's wide open on the amp, so bridge pickup. So definitely got good attack on it. The middle position. So it really will do it all. It's great in the small, medium-sized clubs, but again, with the 20-watt option, with the DI, you can go right into the board if you don't want to mess around with, I have a Mesa cab clone, and I've also got a Sennheiser mic that I'll throw on it. But if you don't want to mess around with any of that, you're trying to do something small and easy, just use that DI. That sounds great. But these things are, I stand behind them 100%. They're well worth every penny that you can pay for them if you can find them. It's like I said, it's been a gig and amp of mine for the, well, let's see, when did they come out? A little over a year ago, I believe, around there. And I got one of the first 12, and it has been in the clubs constantly since. Matter of fact, it made every other amp I have almost obsolete, except for a few things in playing around my house. So Marshall Studio Vintage 20, this is the 59 Super Lead, 1959 Super Lead version. Go get you one. Thanks. Keep the blues alive, everybody.